I about to say the worst thing about it. Watch next week. We'll be here on the fucking next podcast, episode 8. They really put the belt on Jinder Mahal. 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 I can see it now, though. Oh, that's crazy. Oh man, it's been a long time, TYS family. I'm sorry about I think we had like 2 weeks off, man. We had like some technical difficulties, man. It's rough, man. Like I told y'all, our recording situation is kind of funky right now. We tried to record, it was just didn't come out right, and our quality already isn't all that great, so we didn't just want to give you guys worse than that. But all bullshit aside, welcome. This is your co-host, Eli. And got my boy Cowboy Kev with me, man. Welcome to episode 8. And we're going to get right into the shit. WWE. As you heard from the opening clip, we talked about the preview for Backlash. We went through the matches, gave our predictions and stuff, and that was the main event. And we I ain't gonna fake, we picked Randy Orton, but I was like, I let that clip go. I was like, I just wouldn't be surprised if it's fucking Jinder Mahal. And where are we now? In the Jinder Mahal era night. How do you feel, man?
Man, like I said, man, I'm gonna put the beef on you. We are in the Jinder Mahal era, TYS fam, man. I am highly, not going to say disappointed, but surprised. But we'll get into that in a minute. We got some good source action going on why this jobber, Supremage, has gotten such a mega push, man.
Oh, man. How you want to kick it off? You want to talk about some of the matches? You want to talk? Oh, matter of fact, before we get to Backlash, didn't really watch Raw. I don't think nothing was really happening on Raw. I think most of the action is swirling around SmackDown because it just had this pay-per-view. Interesting. We have the match set up for the next SmackDown pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank. Some of the participants is my guy, Shinsuke Nakamura. You got Kevin Owens. You got AJ. You got Corbin, Sami Zayn, and I believe it's one more guy. Is it Bray Wyatt?
No,
Bray Wyatt's on Raw.
Right.
It's one more. It's because it's 6. I just named 5. Ziggler.
Dolph
Ziggler. So it's gonna be a great match right there, and it's putting the guys around a prize they should be fighting for. Money in the Bank to take on the champ. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this fucking U.S. title bullshit that they're trying to push on us. They're going to be fighting for something that's more believable and got some great talent around this match. This should be an amazing match for Money in the Bank.
Outside of the one dude that you named that is a real talent in AJ Styles, this is a jobber supreme situation. Okay? From Kevin Owens to Dolph. Indeed. Dolph Ziggler, a.k.a. Shawn Michaels Light. I'm not impressed with none of the names outside of AJ Styles, man.
God.
Not impressed, my man. I'm not impressed. I just think it is what it is. And I'm going to watch it because the continuity in this organization with the WWE is so bad right now, you don't know what the hell is going to happen. It could be 5 minutes before the match, and we'll figure out who's going to win at the end of the match. Someone else could be supposed to win the match, Ziggler, Owens, blah, blah, blah. But then, we got to start getting ready to get set up for SummerSlam and all that. So, I would hope they would put somebody bona fide since they're going to stretch out this Orton Mahal beef right now, or feud. I just hope that it's worth watching SummerSlam, whoever's in the main event against Jinder Mahal.
And speaking of someone who can be in the main event that you just so happily just brushed past, my guy Shinsuke Nakamura.
I brushed past him on purpose.
Yeah. He beat your man back in the day. Let's not forget that.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I wouldn't recall that either. AJ probably couldn't recall that either when he got done with the King of Strong Style.
Well,
Yeah, nigga.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
stop. Put some respect on my name. You
ooh,
understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You know what I'm saying? That's all my man Shinsuke is asking for. He'll tell you that in whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever language he speak, man.
gibberish.
Oh, man. Man, you gonna stop hating on my man, though, man. I mean, there's some good talent in here, man. You was a Corbin guy. You dropped Corbin already?
Yeah, man.
That's when they smile in my face. Whole time they wanna take my place. Whole time they wanna take my place.
You dropped Corbin already?
Man, like a bad habit.
Guy, man. That was
Like
your guy.
Dropped him like a bad habit, brother. And I still think he has potential. Hell, I mean, come on. We got a dude now that's the WWE champion from 2010 to 2014, was a absolute jobber. No. New category for the TYS.
Oh. Hold on.
Ass. Ass supremage.
You heard it.
That's worse than a jobber supremage. Okay, this dude was losses to Ziggler. You know, this dude was ass. And now all of a sudden he's WWE champion, man. I just, it's wild to me, man. We'll get a little more in depth on
Yeah,
why.
I about to say let's pause on Jenna right here because he's no homo. He's gonna get unloaded on in a few seconds, man. Man, nothing else was SmackDown and Raw. So let's what was your overall thoughts of Backlash?
From what I saw, it was garbage, and there was only 2 good matches.
What was it?
Well, the Kevin Owens match was really solid. I have to give Kevin Owens his props.
100%.
Even though I called him a jobber, but his match was. But
hey, question. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, you good.
Who did he beat in that match?
Really? We're going there?
Hey, let's make some noise for Kevin Owens. Friend of the show. Friend of the show. Shout out to KO, the new face of America. Go ahead, continue. I sorry to cut you off. Continue. Go ahead, continue.
And with my silence right there, I'm gonna hit you with a Dave Chappelle Saturday Night Live quote. Trump's America now, boy. But no.
That was a good one. That's new. I ain't never hit that one.
I mean, but at the end of the day, that was a solid. I mean, but we predicted that. We both said that we figured that these 2 matches were going to be the most solid for Payback. And I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I think the guy's a jobber. I think he's getting a massive bullshit push. But Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton had a good match. It was a good match. And it was what it was. And the outcome is what it is. And those were the 2 best matches of the night.
I don't know about all that.
Oh, come on, man. Not with this Shinsuke shit again, man. Really?
Yeah, 100%. That matchup was nice, man. A nice way to debut the Shinsuke Nakamura era.
Well, I say
a mess out of
Ziggler. I say this, man. He's all right, but he's not real.
He is real. Shinsuke's that deal. If y'all don't know, that's Jay-Z reference right there, the greatest rapper to ever do it. Matter of fact, man, make some noise for Jay-Z, man. Friend of the show. Man, Hov told me he listens to the podcast. He like what we doing, man. We need to get back to it. So, Hov, you know what I'm saying? You want to get us one of them Rock Nation title deals, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Hit me in my email, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I definitely don't like Jay-Z, but the coinage is real.
The bag. The bag. But yeah, man, I definitely like that Shinsuke Dolph Ziggler matchup. Definitely like the Kevin Owens AJ matchup. And it was like one other matchup that I like. It was the Baron Corbin Sami Zayn one. That was a pretty solid match for me.
Oh yeah, 2 jobber supremes, you right.
Come on, man. I thought you don't like nobody but Roman Reigns.
That's not true. That's not true.
What other male wrestlers do you like? Are you a Jinder Mahal fan? You
I am
100% a Jinder Mahal fan.
I am a Jinder Mahal fan. I'm going heel. I'm going heel on the TYS. Man, don't ever insult me like that, man. I would never hitch my alliance to no Jinder Mahal, man. I mean, we all know that Roman Reigns is that dude. I mean, he is that man. You know, I mean, it's his yard. He beat The Undertaker. No one can take that away from him. Undertaker is now retired thanks to a Superman punch and a couple of spears, baby.
Wow.
All I can say, it's his yard. Respect
Wow.
it. Respect it.
You want to talk about Jobber Supremes? Your boy the Usos got lucky and retained the tag team titles because it definitely should be around the waist of Breezango. They definitely put on a good matchup. Breezango.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, because you never heard of real niggas. That's why you ain't never heard of them. Too busy fucking cheering for fucking Randy Orton and fucking Roman Reigns.
But you know what, man? Quick, you know, I gotta get into this, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This shit is burning me inside.
What's going on? What's the matter with you, Dave?
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all, and those that listen to the TYS that are wrestling fans, I got a bone to pick with y'all. And my bone that I'm picking with y'all is the fact that the thing that pissed me off so much last night with Jinder Mahal on SmackDown was the fact that they had this little bullshit. They called it a Punjabi celebration. I don't know if that's a real term or if that was some racist shit, to be honest with you. But first of all, the audience cheered this guy. Roman Reigns gets booed incontinence.
As he should.
As he should not. Okay, brother, the fact of the matter is, man, cut the bullshit. You gonna sit there and tell me that the WWE Universe can cheer for a dude that's what for 4 years he was a jobber. But you hate Roman Reigns for the push that he's getting, but the WWE has ulterior motives, like for Roman Reigns, that they push this dude for. And all I'm saying is, kiss my ass. There's just no way. There's no way that y'all are rooting for transgender Mahal. And I hope transgender hears it. Oh, yeah, man. Multiple shots fired. And you know what? I hope he hears it. You're a jobber. You're ass supreme. You should not have the strap on you, but you know. You're the Iron Sheik. You're the great Khalid. You know, you're them dudes. You know, you suck, man. And the WWE sucks for this shit, man. Like, get the hell out of here. I mean, come on. Roman Reigns gets booed, but you cheer this asshole. Yeah, okay.
All right, let's get into an interesting take that I heard like right before Backlash. I can't remember who pointed out to me. I want to say it was like my one of the vendors that come into the store. And I think he hit the nail on the head. I'm not sure where he got it from, but when he told me, I was like, "What?" Because he said they might push Jinder Mahal to tap into that Indian market. I didn't even know or how lucrative an Indian market would be as far as wrestling goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't tell me that they're not trying to do that with, like you said, with that whole celebration, putting the belt on them. Like, it is crazy, man. Like, it's crazy.
It's 100% obvious now. Now, and we tried to talk about it on a couple weeks back. Randy Orton had a really, really derogatory, tweet towards the indie market and indie wrestling. And he said all these things about it, and then all of a sudden he loses to this guy. So it was premeditated, the things that he was saying, because he was going to lose the strap. Not to go on a rant, a couple of my sources said that basically they almost had 4 or 5 different finishes before the match that night, because it wasn't really supposed to be Jinder Mahal even winning the goddamn title. They were supposed to have Randy Orton going to Money in the Bank with the strap. I don't know what's supposed to transpire from that point, but I mean, as lucrative as the indie style is, I just think that the WWE, I mean, I don't know how much more money you need. I mean, goddamn, you're the only game in town. You're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and now you done put the belt on a jobber, and we're supposed to get behind it. Seriously doubt it. Steph, Vince, H, kill yourself.
Yeah, but that's like the main thing with these companies, especially when they corner the market, make it a monopoly. They are money hungry. It's never enough money for them. They're gonna keep grasping and reaching to try to get every little dollar they can get. Like we seen it earlier. Early this year or maybe late last year. They try to push like Kalisto. They even brought back what's the guy they brought back? Alberto Del Rio. That he was on bad terms. I think he left pretty nasty. That's how much they're like so money hungry. They try to tap into that Mexican market with those two. Didn't really work that well. He left the company. Kalisto isn't really getting that major push that they were talking about. And I mean, and like we talked about it earlier and throughout the week, like they can afford to do stuff like this because they have no real competition like they had with WCW.
Correct.
I know Kev's a little bit older, so he goes a little bit further back. But like for most people, and I'm pretty sure it was a great moment for him. What was one of WWE's greatest moments? The Attitude Era, when they were competing neck and neck with WCW on Monday. You know what I'm saying? That's when we had like some of the greatest storylines, some of the greatest groups, some of the greatest superstars. So they couldn't afford to do bullshit like this. They couldn't afford to have bad storylines. They had to have something that's very interesting to watch because you had another show on at the same time as you. So you had to be you had to be on point to have them watch your show instead of another show. There's no other wrestling show on TV. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be potentially still away ratings from them. So they know they got this market in U.S. lockdown, so they're reaching out, grasping at shores, trying to just get any little bit of money they can.
I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, going back to WCW in that era, even though you had the quote-unquote Attitude Era, you also had the major factors in the success of all that was Click North and Click South. Click North was H, Sean, DX. Click South was the NWO. And even though as dysfunctional as WCW was, I'm not going to say they were on their A game, but they had compelling shit that was happening. You never knew who was going to jump ship. You had the whole Hogan Sting build up for a whole year. And, those things are what pretty much built those that it was a lucrative market for both organizations. And when you don't have any goddamn competition, you're going to get fed a bowl of bullshit. And quick sidebar, because you brought up Alberto Del Rio, and I just want to say that I just got a text from Xavier Woods, and he says Paige tastes like Honey Nut Cheerio.
Hey, that's wild, Knight.
Hey, I had to throw the shot out there, man. But at the end of the day, you like you said it, man. You said it with eloquence. The fact that there's never enough money. I mean, especially when you have ratings, especially stateside. Raw sucks, SmackDown sucks. Ratings have been piss poor since WrestleMania, and they keep feeding people bullshit because they can. There's no alternative.
100.
That's why I wish the TNA had better, backing. Not Eric Bischoff, not Hogan, not dudes from the past that you would try to use to elevate it to a more national prominence. Because the thing that they seem to forget, the same shit they did at WCW, it's about the younger talent. You can't keep, how many Ric Flair Hogan matches you gonna have? I mean, both these motherfuckers gonna die in the ring. But like I said, man, it's what it is, and I mean, as wrestling fans, we just got to deal with it. It's unfortunate, but It's just the state of what it is.
Yeah, like I said, the only people who suffer is us, man. Like we just have to deal with this bullshit, watered down product. I know, man. Like if it was another damn company, I know some of these people would be freaking leaving the company, and some people are still. Like even there's no big competitor, like Cody Rhodes just left. Like man, let me get out of here. I'm going to TNA and wrestle overseas and all this. Like, people just wrestling overseas and stuff. And it's just disappointing, man.
It is, especially from the fact that you still have New Japan and all them organizations around, and you can go and make more money with them. You can make way more money with them than Vince McMahon. And Cody Rhodes, I like the move that he made. He tried to bring legitimacy back to the Intercontinental title because he understood what it was about. And the storyline made him, made him come off like he understood the prestige of the belt. And he defended the belt well and had some really good matches that no one really talks about. But now we're back to the same old bullshit. Belts, and Bret Hart said the stuff, said it the best. The belts are just like what they are. They don't have any type of meaning anymore. The Intercontinental title, the World title, that bullshit Universal joint, which they just wasted money on that. But it shows the desperation when you have to keep doing brand splits. Put all your top talent on both shows, let them go at it, and do what you got to do to make this shit interesting. Because right now, both brands are boring. It is what it is, and we have the Jinder Mahal era, which we should not have. But hey, Vince, it is what it is. Thank you from a diehard wrestling fan.
Man, like I want to ask, how long you think the Jinder Mahal era is gonna last?
Jesus Christ, I hope not long. I hope not long, man. But I've said to you before, Vince McMahon and that organization loves big ass wrestlers. And Kevin Nash on most shoot interviews says the same thing. Hey, it's a big guys league. And don't get me wrong, it's cute when you got a guy our height coming in, winning the strap and looking good and flipping all around and shit. But people like power moves. People like power guys. And it is what it is. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. The universe is kind of split when it comes to this because they, fell in love with Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio, and the goddamn name that I'm about to say now that they act like didn't exist. But guess what, wrestling fans? He does, and he did. He was a hell of a wrestler. I understand he had a situation. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not gonna get deep. Chris Benoit. And I'm gonna take a couple of seconds and say it again. Chris Benoit.
Yeah, they try.
And Eddie. And they raced him off the books like he never fucking existed. And of course, Eddie Guerrero. That's cute. But you're gonna have the Halls. You're gonna have the Nashes, the Hogans. You're gonna have the Batistas. Triple H was huge. Like, he's not a small guy by any aspect. You're gonna have these big ass dudes with the strap because that's what the organization likes. But to answer your question, and once again, not to go on a rant, please, not long for transgender Mahal.
Yeah, man, Shinsuke, you know what I'm saying? He gonna take that title. You know what I'm saying? Real soon for Unite. You got anything else on WWE talk, man? You want to move on to the NBA?
Wait a minute. Let's run that back real quick.
No.
Wait. Who did you just say was going to win the belt?
Nakamura.
It doesn't matter who you said. It doesn't matter.
You're real disrespectful today. You probably was waiting on that for a while, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was kind of like episode 3 waiting to get that out.
Motherfucker. You got anything else with WWE, man?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, man. Moving on to NBA. All right, NBA playoffs, man. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? We had technical difficulties with the other episodes, so we couldn't really talk about it, but we're going to talk about where we're at right now as of, Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? The Western Conference series is over. It was a sweep. Golden State swept the Spurs. Real disappointing in that series. It has so much potential. That especially that first game, man. Spurs looking to run away with that. Then you had the controversial play, the Zaza Pachulia injure him on purpose. I don't know if we talked about that. What you think about that?
I mean, it definitely turned the series around for Golden State. I mean, Kawhi was killing, man. I mean, I think he had 26 points in 25 minutes.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
was killing their ass.
it's sad. I mean, that was a series I thought could go 6 to 7 games, but that right there pretty much null and voided the Spurs in that series, man. It's unfortunate.
100%, man. They is like they was looking to steal game one. So I mean, like with this playoffs, not too many the dominant teams lost at home. Golden State didn't lose at all this playoffs. They were going to lose game one, and that was huge. Losing your first game and losing home court advantage right off the rip, that would have been huge. And you can't let a great man like Pop have something like that. That would have been a real interesting series, man. But he had to play with Kawhi got hurt. He was unable to come back to the series, and Golden State ran away with it, man. I'm not even gonna fake, man. I'm a little disappointed with the Spurs. Even though I understand you're losing your top two players, won that series, and Tony Parker was already out for that series. I was just hoping to see a little bit from LaMarcus Aldridge. He played decent. He was dominant that first game, but Kawhi took away a lot of that pressure and attention. LA, he was moving a little bit too slow. Like when he get the ball, he was too hesitant. He was letting the double teams come to him. He should have just been more decisive with his move. If he's going to set somebody up, kick it, set it up, or if you're going to back him down, post move, try to score, you need to get to it fairly quickly. He allowed the defense to collapse on him, caused like a lot of turnovers. They got him past lanes, and that kind of blew the series over. They some matches they try to stay with him, but that onslaught of offense is just too much star power with Golden State, man.
Just wasn't a series for them to win, man. And like I said, it's highly unfortunate. We've talked about it on shows or earlier shows. The fact that we thought this was going to be the best series in the playoffs. I mean, the Wizards Celtics series actually became the best series, but it's highly disappointing, man. And it's just it. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Just as I'm more of a novice than a fan than I used to be of NBA, but I'm tired of the watered down bullshit, man. Like, one dude shouldn't really make that much of a difference, but you have superstars, and Kawhi Leonard to me is the best two-way player in the game right now. Because he, like I said, 25, 26 points in like 24, 25 minutes. He was making a difference on both sides of the ball. He was freeing up LaMarcus Aldridge to have a lot of one-on-one situations where he can exploit, and he was scoring. And there were some holes that we saw in Golden State's defense that they were capitalizing on, and they were nervous. And, I don't know if Mike Brown might have said something to Zaza, but, it's not like we can't, step over the fact that Zaza has a history of doing some dirty shit. And for me, man, it's just what it is, man. Like, let's just get Cavs Warriors what's this, the third time they played, right?
Yep.
So let's get Rocky 3 going. Because the Warriors are Rocky right now, and LeBron James is Clubber Lang. So let's just get the bullshit on. And I guess Mike Brown is Apollo Creed training these motherfuckers to beat his old team. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. I love, just sidebar before we move on to the Eastern Conference, the one that's still going on. I just love the fact how people can just like, you know what I'm saying, brush over like facts like how you said that Zaza has a history of that. And like it was like, you guys know, it was a huge debate whether that play was good or clean. Like when you have a history of it, me personally, my personal opinion, you don't have that right, you know what I'm saying, for us to, oh man, it was incidental. It was accidental. If you have a history of that, I mean, that's a savvy vet move that people do to make it look incidental. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to do that. That's how you avoid like, suspension and stuff like that, and flagrants and stuff like that. I 100% think that was a dirty play. I wouldn't put that on Mike Brown and say he did it. Like people like that, they take matters into their own hands, man. I'm not putting that on Mike Brown, but that was a dirty play, and like I forget who said it. It was like one of the announcers say they need to put more of an emphasis on penalizing people for doing stuff like that. Like that's dangerous. You got to give people, you know what I'm saying, space to land.
Well, for me, I'm gonna go back a little bit. A couple years ago, former Temple coach John Chaney said that you have to have a goon.
Yeah.
You got to have someone that's gonna do the dirty shit. And Mike Brown. Wow, this is gonna be harsh, man. This is gonna be harsh. But you know what? This is Talk Your Shit podcast, righty?
Yeah, it's to talk your shit.
Okay, so this jobber ass coach. Matter of fact, keep your hand on that button.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna step him down. This ass supreme coach. Better. The fact is, he's ass. He's a joke. I love Steve Kerr. I think he's a good coach. This dude knew what the fuck he was doing, man. And for me, I felt it was an orchestrated move to get Kawhi out the game. And it is what it is, man. These coaches, especially, he's an old school coach. He's been an assistant coach. Old school basketball. You got to have that one dumbass goon that's going to take out a key player. And they did, and they succeeded. But with that being said, E,
Yo.
there's something that I want you to get into. I want you to get it off your chest right now. Please, Kevin Durant.
What, man? You want? All right. Before we move on to Eastern Conference, Kevin Durant. I'm paraphrasing what he said. So he said something to the tune of, "If you don't like the blowouts, don't watch." And I was a huge Kevin Durant fan. I have like tons of his shoes. I was a huge fan. And you know me, I'm a Terps fan, so I support people from Maryland. I support things from Maryland. So I was a huge Kevin Durant fan. I didn't want to make him my favorite player because I know the guy was going to be huge. I don't like having the marquee players as like my favorite players. I don't want to be on the bandwagon or nothing like that. But I would say he was one of my guys. So it just rubbed me the wrong way because rewind back a couple of years when LeBron joined the Miami Heat. Kevin Durant tweeted, "Man, what's up with all these super teams? Everybody want to join Miami. Everybody want to join Boston. What's up with being competitive and going smack at these people?" So I want to know what changed from then to him joining the Warriors and then to him embodying it with that statement. I think he embodied it. They're saying that if you don't want to watch the blowouts, if you don't like the blowouts, then don't watch. Like it's so much stuff wrong with that statement. Like I said, you're contradicting yourself. You're looking funny in the light, KD, with that statement. First of all, that's number one, nigga. Number two, us the viewers, and it's not a small percentage of the viewers. A lot of people think this was like one of the worst playoffs ever. And we are the people who watch your game, who give you guys ratings, which turns into money for you guys.
Money for him in the league.
You know why
Correct.
you guys got that big bonus? It's because of a TV deal, right?
Yep.
If we aren't watching, you don't get that deal, nigga.
Correct.
Like, no disrespect. Like, come on. Like, he just sound like a cold hoe to me, young. Like, that's why, like, just like the reason I don't like LeBron, because like he just come off so smug and arrogant. And you know what I'm saying? He's just feeling himself because he's on Golden State and he has a real good chance at winning the ring. And it's like, wow, it's like I'm watching the finals. I mean, I'm not a hater. I know this is going to be this should be, barring any injuries, is going to be a very entertaining series. Especially if no injuries and no bullshit from the refs. If they just let these guys just play, it's gonna be an interesting series. So I'm gonna watch. But it's like one of the first series. I don't even care who win. Like, I'm not petty. I'm not wishing nothing on no one. But if Cavs lose, I get to see the LeBron slander. If the Warriors lose, I get to see the KD slander because KD is going to get killed. You know what I'm saying? You hop ship, you left Russell, and you join this super team, the team that beat you, and you're acting all arrogant and all smug. The internet is a cruel place. They're going to kill. So I'm here for the slander and jokes. I love laughter. I love funny. So I'm here for it. I know that's your guy. So how do you feel about KD?
I'm be dead honest with you, man. I can't disagree with nothing you said. I really can't. I mean, I just think these guys become hoes when they're chasing a chip. And I'm old school. And I've never shied away from saying that. I'm old school, man. I just remember dudes grinding to try to win championships. And there's a lot of guys that Jordan in my era stopped from winning championships. But that didn't stop them from pursuing and trying to, be the best. And, that's when the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference had stars, the Malones, the Stocktons, the Kemps, the Paytons, your man Hakeem down there. Well, he was older then, but, Hakeem had been to a finals in 86 before he went back in 94. So, in the Knicks, the Hawks, Dominique Wilkins, all these dudes, there was a star on every fucking team. But this NBA is a glorified AAU fucking team.
Yeah.
Teams. They're AAU teams, man. It's buddies wanting to play with buddies. No one wants to sit and be the man and have a team built around it. Well, thank you to the college basketball system. And we've talked about it before about LeVar Ball, and what he's doing with his sons. And that's fine because, that's how the system is set up. You got to wait a couple of years. Now, you coming in the league 19, 20 years old. You're underdeveloped. You may have good offensive skills and this, that, and other, but you're going to take 5 to 6 years to learn the game.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant, and you made a great point that what he said was hypocritical as shit. And that's my guy. I'm not going to say where I grew up, but, he went to a school that's not too far from where I grew up. And, he's, I like his game. He reminds me a lot of George Gervin, a real smooth style of game. But when you start making statements like this, and like you said, social media is a cruel fucking place. It's cruel.
They don't forget.
And they don't forget, dog. Like, shut the fuck up. Like you said, first of all, the Western Conference games comes on too goddamn late for me.
That's number one.
Off the rip. And for you to sit and dispute this bullshit that you said because you were criticizing other teams, let me tell you something, KD. You wouldn't be talking this shit if Scott Brooks and James Harden was still on this team with you. You wouldn't be talking that shit. But you got Billy Donovan and a dude that's going to be, in the future, get ready to hit the button, wearing a fucking romper. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Russell Westbrook. I've never liked him. I think he's, whoa. Barbershop talk was about to get real there. I ain't gonna say that because I ain't trying to offend anybody on the TYS fam. We all fam, baby. But at the end of the day, man, I don't like that cat for various reasons. But KD, look, get your ring because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna entertain it. I got a little pissed off last year of how that shit ended because not to rehash it. Me and you both have strong opinions. And we're in agreement about how shit was called and all that in that series. But for me, KD, get your chip. And then, because now it's like title belts. Yeah, well, not title belts. Excuse me. I was about to refer to title belts. The NBA championship, especially dealing with LeBron and the shit that's going on, it's like the Intercontinental title. To me, it don't have no fucking meaning. It don't have no meaning.
And, damn. And I had another point, but I'll go to this point. And if you guys don't see the underlining story with this and why they're doing this, I'll take blamed for this, and it's not just me. I'm saying the fan base and the media. We put a lot on winning rings. It is important, don't get me wrong, but we will tear a player down if they don't have a ring, a la Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley is a legend, but he gets shitted on any chance that someone gets. Oh, you don't got a ring. You don't got a ring. And you know what I'm saying? That's like the ultimate diss. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why these players are doing it. LeBron started it. I want to say LeBron started it, especially with the new wave. With the new wave. He sensed how hard it was to get a ring. He's don't agree with me, he's wrong. He's an amazing player, but he couldn't do it. He didn't think he could do it in that setting he was at in Cleveland. So he went to Miami. He wanted to get it out the way. He didn't want to be an amazing player with an amazing legacy, a legacy without rings. So he didn't want to go the Charles Barkley route. KD, I think one or two reasons went to Golden State because he's not going to beat LeBron. Can't beat him, join him, and also he doesn't want to. I don't think he wants the same thing either. I think that's what changed in his mentality. I don't want to be great without a ring, so I'm gonna go to Golden State. I think that's like that's like some of the reasons why they did what they did because they don't want to be great without rings. And also, if you got something to add to that, I'm gonna get to another point. I remember KD also said something else.
Real quick, I'm gonna hit on what you. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said because like I said, man, I grew up in a different era, and I've had arguments with people in the past about what you're bringing up about great players having rings. We can sit there and minimize all we want the fact that these certain guys couldn't win a chip. But it don't take away from the level of greatness and the things that we respect, the things that we appreciate, the Marinos, the Barkleys, the Stocktons and Malones, the Kemps, the Dominique Wilkinses, because they gave us other aspects outside of winning. First of all, let me hip the younger TYS to something, man. One of the greatest things I've ever seen in my generation, 1988 goddamn dunk contest between Jordan and Wilkins. This was an epic. This shit was almost like a fucking opera. And I appreciate shit like that because it's not all about chips. It's really not all about fucking chips because you've had dudes win chips. I'm going to give you a great example. I'll give you a great goddamn example. Eli.
Yeah.
What's the one collegiate institution in collegiate basketball that always has number one players we remember outside of North Carolina?
Duke.
Fucking Danny Ferry is the only guy that has gotten a chip that went to Duke. We're talking about Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner, Grant Hill,
now.
Johnny Dawkins. The fuck?
You gotta update it now. It's one.
Who's with
Kyrie.
Oh yeah, the bisexual dude. Whoa. Right, forget about it.
Kyrie.
Fuck Kyrie Irving, man.
Damn. Hey Kyrie, man, I don't know what Knight talking about on.
Don't you say it. Don't you
on
say
behalf
it.
of my side of TYS, you are a friend of the show. I got you carry some love, man. We'll get into it when we talk about the East, but go ahead, finish.
Hold on. Fuck Uncle Drew. Go ahead.
You was finished. I'm about to say I didn't have nothing else. I mean, KD did say something else, but it tied in what I already talked about. He said the same thing what I just said, and that like confirms my beliefs. I had those beliefs before KD said that. He said something about to the tune that y'all kill people without rings. So that confirms what I thought, that he wanted to go and say, because he didn't want to retire without a ring. So I guess he's going to knock that out the way. And then we had like a small. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm not to cut you off. Not to cut you off. I really didn't mean to, because I like what you're saying. But what does that chip mean? What does it mean? Is it just to say I have a fucking ring? Is that what that's about?
So.
It's
just checking off a box. They just want to check that box off. Because I mean, like, it's like the ultimate killer to some people. Like, well, is the word shallow? I don't know. It's a word there that I'm saying they just.
No, you know what? I got a great word for that. Being fucking vain.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I mean by that is being vain to the standpoint of, and like you said it, and like I've said it, and you know what? That was your word. I love it. Social media is a rough fucking world now.
Yeah.
And for me, it'd be like, you know, man, you used to average 40 a game, motherfucker, you ain't got no
Yeah,
chip.
that's like the ultimate killer
I
and
would
shit.
never say that. But I would never say that because I respect the fact of your, dude, this is what you've given your life to. And if you play 14, 15, 16 years and you fall on some hard times, the ball don't, you had the greatest quote last year. The basket don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sorry, man. I don't, oh God, I hate to say this, man.
What you about to say, homie?
KD's in that LeBron basket with me, man. You gotta run to go get a chip. Yeah, you gotta run to go get a chip because you can't earn one on your own. I'm sorry. I mean, and Jordan, Isaiah, Bird, Magic, even though some of them dudes had great players around them, the Worthies, the Jabars, the Parishes, the McHales, the Pippins, the Rodmans, guess what? They had teams built around them.
Yeah, and like people always make that bullshit excuse. Well, LeBron ain't had no help. He just had a regular team. It's just not what y'all used to saying what he has now. He had a team built around him. He had like some solid pieces. Of course, he didn't have like no Kyrie or stuff, but like sometimes you gotta organically build that stuff. I mean, I know they weren't gonna have high draft picks, but I mean you can still find gems in the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And you can also have access to trade. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that you can't trade stuff because people making dumb trades. Look at the fucking Nets did. They just fucking gave Boston a fucking number 1 pick and they in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. So you could have finessed and finagled something. But he just fuck it and he left.
Can I piggyback off what you just said there for a second? Cool. So let's run that, and this is not the first time the Celtics have been in this situation. For those that, for the younger TYS audience, a guy that I remember, Len Bias.
Yeah.
They won the finals in '86, beating the Houston Rockets, that same Rocket team I was referring to earlier with Hakeem. They had the number 1 pick, thanks to Red Auerbach. And they had Len Bias, and we all know the tragedy that was. And damn that in past tense is. And Danny Ainge is doing the same shit, learning from Red Auerbach. So what? The New Jersey Nets are dumb as shit. That's their loss. You know what I'm saying? You about to get a top 3 pick, and right now, and you made a great point. You can leverage Isaiah Thomas if you want.
They got so many avenues to keep building up their team. They can take a Markelle Fultz and plug him in, trade Isaiah, maybe get more picks or some players that they need that they feel they can help get them right back in contention. And then guess what?
Correct.
They have another New Jersey pick the next draft. We don't know how that's going to turn out, but right now they have the number 1 overall pick, and they are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
But that's a man coming from a pedigree in Red Auerbach that knows how to build championship teams. And I know there's some TYS older cats that's going to be like, well, he went out and got Ray Allen, and he went out and got Kevin Garnett. First of all, Kevin Garnett didn't even want to fucking leave Minnesota. Kevin McHale, a former Celtic, great Celtic, had to talk him into taking that deal and going to Boston. So don't sit there and give me that shit. They're the only group of guys that I would never call a fucking AAU team. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Why? Because I think Danny Ainge did the shit the right way. Danny Ainge is sitting there saying to himself, yeah, man, I wouldn't did that shit. But guess what? I'm going to have a team for the next 5 to 6 years that's going to be up in LeBron's ass, and we're going to compete against him. And that's perfect, man. Yo, shouts out Danny Ainge, friend of the TYF.
And I like to say, like, the difference to me, even though it was a great, amazing team with putting all those Hall of Famers together, like, they weren't in their prime. You know what I'm saying? Like, when LeBron did it, he grabbed Wade. pretty young. He grabbed Chris Bosh, pretty young. He's young himself, and then you still
Mike
right,
Miller was
you
still
still
young.
align yourself with all these great players like a Mike Miller, like a James Jones, like a Birdman, and who else was there? Udonis Haslem was
Hold up.
there. Mike
Wait a
Beasley.
minute. What was the point guard's name that had the Philly that was hitting all them threes and shit?
That was some. I guess that was somebody they
Yep.
drafted. That was like organically kind of built. I give them that. And Mario Chalmers, that was a person they drafted. They just had so much talent, and like those guys were young. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look how the careers went for Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen after they were damn near on their last legs. Ray Allen went from starting with Boston to being on the bench for Miami. And he only played there a couple more years. You know what I'm saying? KG didn't really do too much after he left there. Paul Pierce was like a little bit younger than them, so he had like a little while stint and with the Wizards and stuff, but they weren't too effective. Like these guys, I don't have any problem with like vets doing it. And like I said, they didn't go out and chase the chips; they were traded. I don't have no problem with vets really doing it. You know what I'm saying? Chasing dreams at right before you go out. But like when you're doing this in your prime, where you're capable of, you know what I'm saying, performing at your peak, I don't know. I'm not with it.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100% because, for me, I'm a diehard Wizard and I've been a Sonic fan. Now, people like, how you going to like... I hadn't heard a bunch of motherfuckers say they had two teams. Okay? I love Sean Kemp. I was a big Sean Kemp fan, but I'm going to go ahead and educate the TYS fam. One thing about me and being a Bullet/Wizard, the first player I ever loved for the Bullets was Michael Adams. Google it, Wikipedia it, Pro Basketball Reference, whatever the fuck you got to do. Him and Tom Gugliotta. Oh my God, Slim, don't do that. NC State, the boy can ball.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? My name, put some respect on.
Nigga went over.
Put some
Wallace.
respect. Who should have still been with the Bullets, but that's a conversation for another time. But you're 100% right, and where I'm going with this is the fact that Ray Allen, we all know what the hell he did when he had Michael Redd.
Hey, you gotta put some respect on his name. No,
Michael Redd.
No,
Ray Allen.
Jesus Shuttleworth.
Oh man, because he had game. You ain't lying. The man had game.
Jesus. You know how amazing you have to be named Jesus?
I mean, he was definitely the Black Jesus. But for me, when he came to Seattle, it was a great move. He got us to the playoffs a couple years. And he really gave it his all. And right now, not to get on a rant about this, he's actually a part of a group that's trying to get the Sonics back in Seattle. But without saying, with that being said, I'm just saying how great of a guy he is. But Ray Allen, him and Garnett were last of a dying breed to me. Kevin Garnett sat with the Minnesota Timberwolves forever. And he didn't want to go anywhere. Like I said, he had to be convinced. And Ainge and McHale, yes, they were on them great Celtics teams in the 80s together. And he had to, like I said, had to convince him. Ray Allen had to be convinced. He didn't want to leave Seattle. But, I guess he saw the writing on the wall, Oklahoma City, all that bullshit. But these were real dudes. And they were stand-up guys. And they wanted to try to get championships for the franchises that gave them an opportunity. So, for me, it's just these dudes. It's just glorified AAU. I'm sorry, it is, and I'm not going to give the emotion that like I did last season in that finals between Golden State and Cleveland, this year. Because it is what it is, and I just think it's a bunch of bullshit to it. And I'm just gonna watch it for the entertainment value.
Yeah, I'll just watch it. Hopefully, I can watch some good playoff basketball this year because I only got to really experience one series that really showed some good basketball, and that was the Washington-Boston series. Went Game 7. It was epic. Anything else, Matt? You want to move on to the East?
We got to.
Don't be like that, man. So in the
I
Eastern
mean,
Conference Finals, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers going against the Boston Celtics. And what's the story? 3-1 right now, right? Yeah, it's 3-1. They won the
yeah.
first two in Boston, and they won one at home. Uh this series, uh boring as hell. We had a little bit glimmer of excitement with Boston winning game 3, which was amazing. That they won on the road without Isaiah Thomas. If you don't know, Isaiah Thomas did suffer injury. He's out for the series, pretty much the playoffs, because they're not going to beat Cleveland, so he's out. What are your thoughts on the series?
Jinder Mahal.
As Supreme.
Yes, this is an ass supreme series. Um, this is just a lollygag, if you will, for lack of a better term, to get to the finals, so we can see, as my man, the great rap legend, Project Pat, the bullshitter.
Man, fuck it, let's cut right to the shit. I think I seen. Yeah, man. Like, ain't about to talk about this series too much. We're gonna dig into it. I had seen an article. I'm in a sports group on Facebook. I seen an article. I'm not sure if you've seen it, so this is gonna be a hot take for you to hear you responses. I don't think we talked about it. Do you know
Uh-oh.
they are trying to push the narrative that LeBron was sick game 3, and that's probably why they lost and he played bad.
Man, kiss my ass. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I seen the article. I'm like, and then people automatically
Oh,
jump, man. Jordan played with the flu. If you want to compare him to Jordan, man, Jordan played with the flu, hangover, food poisoning, whatever it was. He was under the weather.
Why is it every time this dude has a bad game, it's a fucking
It's
excuse?
cramps.
It's a fucking
It's a heat
excuse.
stroke.
Dog.
Now he's sick.
Oh my. I don't know how the fuck you 6'9", 260 and you soft as fucking cotton. He got syphilis next? God damn. Oh my god. I'm tired of this shit, E. I'm sorry. TYS fam that's listening to this, I'm tired of the bullshit. And it's a lot of you LeBron fans that are going to be listening. Why is it always an excuse when your man has a bad game? He done got Mr. Motherfucking March of Dimes here. I mean, are you serious? E, you got to send me that link. I got to see it, because you know what? This reminds me of when Kawhi Leonard started digging in his ass and he got his period in that game, and he cramping up, curling up in the fetal. I ain't had no water. First of all, man, you was doing fucking Gatorade commercials, G2 and shit, baby.
Pop some of them motherfucking chewables, nigga.
Man, yeah, it's fucking Gatorade chewables and shit. Man, E, go ahead and roll with this, cause God.
All right, another hot take. We talked about it this morning or whatever. People are discrediting Kyrie.
Who?
Come on, hey, they discredited Kyrie Irving. Like, Kyrie went the hell off last night. And he was the lone, I ain't gonna say the lone reason. He was the main reason why they won. Kevin Love played good. He had a bunch of rebounds. Was this was the game LeBron was LeBron was in foul trouble last night. Yeah, he ended up, you know what I'm saying, with a nice game later on. But in the thick of it, when Boston was leading, Kyrie was leading the comeback. And I heard a fan of the game say, "This is what LeBron wanted the whole time." And I'm just like shaking my head, and I'm doing better, because I talk to you all the time, and I just got a thing where I just always want to just lay it into a person who says dumb shit. But now I'm starting to see like it's not worth it all the time. So this one, I just looked at it, and I chop it up with you. I didn't want to go back and forth with this individual, because this individual is not really sports savvy. If you don't know that Kyrie gets it in, I mean, why am I having a conversation with you?
Correct. Kyrie saved that game last night.
100%.
150%. And LeBron came on late. No, E, do me a favor real quick. Can you bring up that stat that you brought up earlier to me about LeBron and foul trouble?
I heard during the game that LeBron has played roughly around 1,200 games. And TYS, I'm gonna give a dramatic pause. Do you care to guess how many times LeBron has fouled out of 1,200 games?
I got to do it. Gotta go Jeopardy on that.
LeBron has only fouled out of 8 games out of 1,200. That is crazy. I wish it was a way you can really find a stat to see how much he's actually been in foul trouble. I can imagine it's not gonna be that much more bigger than 8. It'll probably be like maybe around like 20 something out of 1,200 games that he's actually in foul trouble. Like, I can't remember a game where I actually seen LeBron in foul trouble. I was shocked that LeBron was in foul trouble last night. And while he was on the bench in foul trouble, Kyrie was putting on a clinic. But not to cut you off because you were talking. I mean, not to go on. You were talking.
No. That's why I asked you to bring that stat up, man. Because, for me, that is a phenomenal stat. And like you said, the basket don't lie, stats don't lie. And if you gonna sit there and tell me in 1,200 goddamn games, this man has been playing almost 14 years. Remember, he was drafted in 03. 8 games in 14 years? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's that superstar treatment shit. You know what I'm saying? And when people... Fuck it. When people want to say the game is not rigged and people think the game is in its purest form, if you fucking think so, bruh. Like, man, like I said, man, we had a ref come out and, you know what I'm saying, confirm that he was fixing game and stuff. If you think they got rid of that one person and everything went away, I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna just say you're naive as hell. I mean,
he got his ass whipped in prison for that
too. He's in witness protection. He's in like custody. You new identity and everything, bro. Like, if you think they got rid of that one person, everything is just clean now.
What was his name? Donahue. Yeah, Donahue. Yep.
Like, come on, man.
Yep. He came out, said the games was he. No, you remember the year that bald motherfucker, Steve something or other, kicked Tim Duncan out the game? He was like laughing and then you're ejected. The fuck are you ejected him for?
Because like what people don't realize is these refs are people too. So they have vendettas against people. Whatever reason, some of these people are sports fans that got themselves. You know what I'm saying? It could be something as simple as that. Or like you said, some people have personal vendettas. Like some of these fucking refs could be racist or what have you. Like you said, how the hell you kick Tim Duncan out? Like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's so fucking just chill. Like, come on now. And then like speak on doing that error. Like they talked. I don't know if it was Tim Donahue. I think it was Tim Donahue. He talked about like how certain refs had it out for like Allen Iverson. Then they would you know what I'm saying, get in a group, talk or whatever, like, hey man, look, this how we calling the AI gets no calls. Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way about John Wall, because there's just no goddamn way John Wall goes to the basket. It's fucking hammered. He be hitting layups and shit. He goes right to the ground, crashes to the ground, no call. But then on the other side, some, weak ass point guard or player gets a goddamn call that puts him on the line. So I'm 100% in agreement
like,
with that
y'all gotta
bullshit.
Like pay attention. I know it's like it may be hard to believe, and like, cause like it was like an interesting stat. It was like last series. I think it was I think it was like San Antonio playing someone. I think, matter of fact, it was San Antonio versus Memphis. Kawhi shot more free throws than the entire Memphis team.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Remember because the coach, we had the clip about, and he had some good stats, and I couldn't.
And if you don't watch Memphis basketball, because I know it's not sexy, Zebo and Marc Gasol, just them by themselves, they go hard in the paint. So I know they're drawing fouls down there. Like, come on now. Like, that's crazy.
What's your man's name? Number 9
Tony
for
Allen?
Memphis. That boy is a hell of. Tony Allen is a poor man's Kawhi Leonard. And I'm not, man. Well, let me rephrase that, because offensively, it's not really his thing. He tries to get in your ass defensively, and I've always liked Tony Allen from the Celtic days. You know, that boy can play some fucking defense, and I love him a lot because he is one of them old school throwback type guys to me. But to sit there and you throw Tony Allen on Kawhi Leonard, and this motherfucker has shot like almost 30 free throws. And I love Kawhi Leonard, and I'm not dogging Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
You know I love Kawhi.
That's how you know we're speaking objectively. We love Kawhi, but we'll point out something like that. So we're not like harping on people. We're speaking objectively. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm just saying, no, you're right. You're 100% right. I'm just saying that's a hell of a disparity in fucking free throws, though, dog.
But San Antonio's a more sexier pick to move along than a Memphis team. San Antonio's gonna bring more ratings than a Memphis team. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and then I don't want to harp on this NBA rigged or fixed stuff too much, but I always bring up two things when we have these conversations, and I really haven't anyone to really dispute it. One being, what has man touched that's profitable that they didn't alter and just kind of really mess up and just wring every little bit of money out of it? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the NBA is a business. So they have all these stats and analytics to say, oh, how can we be more profitable? That's every company's goal, how we can be more profitable. So that's what goes into it. I don't know who's calling it. Maybe the commission, maybe a group above him. He could be just a puppet, just like how the president is just a puppet for the U.S. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot going into it, bro. Y'all can believe me or not, but when we have these conversations, people can't really dispute it. And I think what really throws it off, I brought up to you earlier, what really messes up the narrative of when people who actually think the game is rigged is we always say it when stuff doesn't go our way. I do get it. But if you speak to somebody like me, I will admit if something isn't right, whether I'm on either side of it, I'm gonna say it right. Of course, I'm gonna feel more passionate if I get slighted. But if you know what I'm saying, you real life kicking it with me, talking to me, I'm like, yeah, man, that was some bullshit right there. That was some cold bullshit.
Oh, you know what? I'm a conspiracy theorist, dog, and I'm about to get real for the TYS. I know there's a lot of cats that's gonna listen to us. And, we're talking about the game being fixed, game being rigged, and then, we're going to be called haters because of LeBron and everything. But I'm going to educate y'all real quick. First of all, the game is rigged. And, well, I'm going to say multiple games in this country are rigged. Even the NFL, pro baseball. And a lot of this shit is organized crime. Yeah, I said it. And I'm not scared to say it. And I'll say it. Because this is the one thing I want the TYS fam to do. There's an ESPN 30 for 30 out. A majority of people that listen to our show know the movies The Godfather and Goodfellas, right? Your man, what's his name? George Hill. The one thing that Martin, and shouts out, friend of the show, one of the greatest directors of our time, Mr. Martin Scorsese, didn't put in the movie the fact that George Hill was running a point shaving scheme at Boston University for almost 3 to 4 years. It was a point shaving scheme. And a couple of dudes went to jail because of that shit and did 20, 25 years because of him. So don't sit and tell me that you don't feel or this shit isn't rigged. It's rigged. It's fucking rigged. We love the game for what it is, and we become subjective to the shit that we see. And like I said, all these LeBron worshipers that are going to, listen to the TYS, because we're getting really in depth and we're talking some real good barbershop shit here tonight because of shit that's bothering us. All I say is just watch that ESPN 30 for 30. If you think I'm lying, ESPN is a $1 billion conglomerate. They do these documentaries. I'm not making this shit up. And I don't think they are either.
Yeah.
So, fuck it. I mean, I'll say it. I've always felt certain situations. I felt last year's finals was some bullshit to give LeBron a ring because he came back and did the noble thing after, I'm sorry, I think I'm going to take my talents to South Beach because we seem to, sidestep that bullshit. And for me, it's just the fact that, look, man, this is bullshit. Like I said, I hope the Warriors win. If they don't, I'm be damn honest with everybody on the TYS. I would not be surprised if the Cavs win back-to-back championships. I wouldn't, because I'm just looking forward for the entertainment value, man.
I was gonna save it to last episode. Well, first of all, let me get this point out, and then we're gonna close it with the whole. We're gonna finish all this NBA talk, rig shit. We're gonna start closing the show, but like some points that people bring up as rebuttals when like we say the league is rigged. Oh well, why do you watch it? Like I mean, like I'm a sports guy. I mean, like what else I watch? What else I'm gonna watch? I don't really like modern day TV. It's like a whole bunch of the same bullshit. So I don't really want to watch it. I love sports. I mean, it's still even though it's fixed and I know it's bullshit, it's still entertaining to me. Like I still watch wrestling. Wrestling is fixed, but it's still entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So just because I watch it, you know what I'm saying, don't mean I still think it's rigged. It's just we've been watching it for so long since we were kids, man. It's like, like I said, you still get amazing moments and stuff. So yeah, I'll watch it. Like I said, there's nothing else to really watch these days. I'm not watching no Real Housewives of Atlanta and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm a sports guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to watch it, even though I mean I know it's bull crap. But when I point out it's bull crap, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, man, we just go ahead and start closing the show. I know you wanted to talk on Cortez Kennedy, man. Like I said, let's give a moment of silence for Cortez Kennedy. All right, Kev. I know you said you had some words for him. You can go ahead and take it over.
Yeah, man. Wow. Everybody that listens to the TYS knows that me and Eli are diehard Cowboy fans, man. But I'm a football fan, 100%. And the era I grew up in watching football, there were a lot of great players, a lot of great teams that I idolized, more players than teams, but we lost a hell of a legend this week in Cortez Kennedy of the Seattle Seahawks, man. Dude was an 8-time Pro Bowler, defensive tackle. He was on the team with Sam Adams. The guy was a beast, man. Unfortunately, he had to play with some bad quarterbacks, offenses that really weren't 100% outside of one of my favorite guys. Chris Warren was running back then with the Seahawks. But man, it's just sad, man. The guy was only 48 years old, and he's gone, man. And he's a Hall of Famer. He was a hell of a player, and I just want to give my condolences to the Kennedy family, and shouts out to Seahawk Nation, the 12th man. Y'all lost a hell of a guy this week. And like I said, 100% my condolences for a legendary guy like Cortez Kennedy.
Prayers up to the Kennedy family, man. That's all we have today. Hopefully we'll be back next week, barring any technical difficulties, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. If you have any rebuttals, any remarks, leave it on the Twitter _ Talk Your Shit Podcast, Facebook Talk Your Shit Podcast. Thank y'all for listening, man. We out.